federal government was closed for 40 plus days, reopened not too long ago. And that fight is going to rear its head back around here soon as the discussion in Congress seems to focus on affordability and health care and Affordable Care Act subsidies and credits. But what else is going on in Congress that we need to know about? Let's connect now with U.S. Congresswoman Miller here for Illinois in Focus Daily. I'm Greg Bishop with you each and every weekday morning here for the Center Square. Congresswoman, thanks for taking time with us. Obviously, a lot going on with you guys in session, only for a handful of days before the Christmas break. What's top of the mind right now for you guys?
Well, supporting President Trump's agenda, which the American people wanted. They want to restore law and order. And J.B. Pritzker on every issue he is not siding with the citizens in Illinois. He is rolling out the red carpet still for illegals. You can come to the state and get all kinds of benefits. You can get a driver's license, a CDL license. You can get SNAP benefits. And J.B. Pritzker is again flouting federal law. He is required now to cooperate with the USDA. We want to look at who has signed up for SNAP payments. I'm on the House Ag Committee and I fought very hard, and we were able to include in the Working Families Tax Cut bill that illegal aliens are no longer eligible to receive SNAP benefits.
Congresswoman, obviously, you've got the governor pushing back on this, talking about how there needs to be privacy for these individuals. The state's Department of Human Services that facilitates these SNAP payments are saying it's going to cost Illinoisans hundreds of millions of dollars in helping manage the SNAP program under new federal law, but also the error rate. Illinois has an 11.56% error rate, most of that, 10+% coming from overpayments. How significant is this to the Illinois taxpayer that this gets dealt with, and any of that fraud that the USDA is talking about gets snuffed out?
This is a big deal. And besides the error rate being outrageous, I am certain that J.B. Pritzker is enrolling every illegal alien that he can onto SNAP benefits. And what does he have to hide? We want transparency. We want accountability. Taxpayers are tired of being abused and taken advantage of. We want federally funded taxpayer benefits only for U.S. citizens.
Congresswoman Miller joining us here with Illinois in Focus Daily, and a bunch of other issues obviously on the table for you guys to discuss over in Congress. One of the things that was debated with Democrats trying to keep the government closed was the idea of the health care and insurance reform and wanting Obamacare subsidies to be extended. And Republicans alleged that Democrats were looking to give non-citizens health coverage. What's going to happen before the end of the month in January when we're looking at a possible another government shutdown?
Well, there's a lot of ideas floating, but I'm glad you called it Obamacare. This is the Democrats' healthcare plan. They have ruined healthcare for Americans. And the one thing it is not is affordable. So we think one of the big solutions is to bring back more competition into that and to quit making payments directly to the insurance companies. If you look at a chart of the profits from insurance companies, you can see it directly correlates to Obamacare and their outrageous profits at the expense of the American people.
When it comes to affordability, how quickly can we see these prices go down, or at least some kind of stabilization of health insurance prices, and not just health insurance prices, Congresswoman? I'm sure you're hearing from constituents. I mean, trying to find a doctor that's in network and then having to, juggle in your head how much it's going to cost with your deductible and copays and all of these things just adds to the stress of an individual who may have a health issue navigating insurance. How can we really get this right in this country?
Well, one of the key solutions is to deport tens of millions of illegals that are here that are using our healthcare system, using and abusing it. And J.B. Pritzker tried to lie to me in a hearing here at the Capitol, saying he didn't know how much we were spending on illegals' healthcare. We've spent billions of dollars just on the healthcare for illegals. Not only that, he sides with them. We have criminals in our state, and he is refusing to cooperate with ICE to get those people out. And I've talked to victims' families. This is terrible. Then he's giving them driver's licenses and even CDL licenses. In every way, he is supporting lawlessness and Americans last.
Congresswoman, you kind of went right into the next issue I wanted to touch on with you, and that is the commercial driver's license issue. Got some numbers from Illinois State Police showing that about 1 in 5 of the CDL holders that they do an English language proficiency exam on and fail it are coming from Illinois, meaning 1 in 5 of these CDL holders can't pass proficiency coming from the state of Illinois. How can Congress actually deal with this and enforce that states make sure people know how to read street signs in the United States?
Right. Well, if you don't stop the funding to the states that are flouting our laws, they're not going to change. I have a bill, the Safe Driving Law Act, that will rescind half of the highway funding to states like Illinois that refuse to cooperate. Our highways are not safe. And I completely do not believe that number, 1 in 5. I have, in plain clothes, gone from truck stop to truck stop in my district, and I go to the cashier and I ask them this question: how many of the truckers come in here speak no English? And every single time they have told me almost all of them. And it's just outrageous. And the other thing, we have allowed illegals and foreigners to take these jobs from the American people. These used to be good jobs for people that didn't go to college. And we should restore the trucking industry back to the American people. And I want to go after the trucking companies is another thing that's hiring these people. And Illinois is quite a trucking hub. We've got so many freight rails that come into Chicago. And it's a trucking hub. Illinois is, and in the center of the nation, we definitely need to deal with this. It is a threat to the American people on the highways.
Congresswoman Mary Miller with us here with Illinois in Focus Daily, and obviously with the federal government trying to enforce CDL licensure in states. You're seeing kind of patchwork of states that are cooperating and those that may not be cooperating. What kind of communication have you had with, say, the Illinois Secretary of State's office or even the governor's office about cracking down on ensuring that CDL people being issued CDLs by Illinois are actually competent and being on the road safely?
Well, they won't talk to me. They're completely uncooperative. And finally, I do not believe a thing that they say. They lie without shame. And I think the facts speak for themselves. I've had multiple accidents in my own district of illegals that have driver's licenses and CDL licenses. And I've talked to victims' families. Not one Democrat has reached out to their family.
Congresswoman Mary Miller with us here with Illinois in Focus Daily. And then finally, as we're going to hear a little bit later on, there was a House Homeland Security Committee hearing yesterday about anti-law enforcement rhetoric and the damage that does. Your thoughts, especially since Congresswoman Delia Ramirez from Illinois being in that hearing as well and seeming to double down on some of the rhetoric she has against the Department of Homeland Security and Immigration and Customs Enforcement.
Well, she and I are on opposite sides of every single issue. She is an anti-American. She has gone to the microphone and said that she represents Guatemala. She does not represent what the American people want. We want law and order. We want the illegals deported. We want taxpayer benefits only for American citizens. We want voter ID laws, and she opposes all of that.
Congresswoman Mary Miller, greatly appreciate you taking the time with us this morning. We'll definitely talk again in the near future. And when are you guys leaving Washington, D.C. and coming back into the district?
Later on this afternoon.
Wow. All right. Well, and is it back to work next week as well?
Yes.
Okay. So
I'm looking forward to it. We have a lot of work to do. President Trump works tirelessly, and I'm so happy to support his agenda, which is Americans first.
All right. Congresswoman Mary Miller, greatly appreciated again. We'll talk again in the very near future. All right. Be safe out there.
Take care.
It is Illinois in Focus Daily with you each and every weekday morning. I'm Greg Bishop. Like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and wake up with us right here for more Illinois in Focus Daily.